most of the year, Arctic waters encompass a world where snow, sea ice, and vast icebergs rule a barren realm of unearthly cold and impenetrable darkness. But as the long night retreats at the rising of the midnight sun, an amazing transformation takes place. Ice yields to open waters, gray skies to vibrant colors, and the ocean teems with life. As the country with the longest Arctic shoreline, Canada has an international responsibility to encourage and lead efforts to study the Arctic. As concerns have mounted over global warming and the environmental impact of an already dramatic reduction in sea ice, so too has the pressure to intensify northern research and enhance the infrastructure which supports that research.
The Icebreaker project is a great example of Canadians getting our act together. This will allow top-notch scientists from 13 universities to study climate change in a very interesting part of the Arctic. Interesting because it's so vulnerable. That means that if we work effectively as partners and bring our resources together, we're capable of great research on a world scale.
The Department of Fisheries and Oceans is supplying the Icebreaker and providing its crew and the upkeep. The Canada Foundation for Innovation has funded the refit and mobilization of the ship for science. And NSERC, the Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council, is funding its first mission. For decades, Canadian Coast Guard icebreakers have taken our Arctic researchers to the farthest frontiers of their science. For the most part, the research has taken place on ships of opportunity, which accommodated the needs of science within the confines of their maritime patrol duties. There also have been occasions when patrol ships have supported intensive, months-long missions fully dedicated to research. While the Department of Fisheries and Oceans will carry on with the current practice of carrying researchers on board Coast Guard patrols, it has now also forged a new agreement with Canadian universities.
Our contribution goes well beyond just providing a platform for successful scientific research. Our navigators and scientists have gained a lot of knowledge and experience from previous missions that will be crucial to the success of these upcoming missions. And we're really excited about going on them. We think it will be a valuable contribution to work in this area.
This is an excellent opportunity being provided by the Coast Guard to ensure that Canadian researchers have increased access to the studies of the Arctic. The Canada Foundation for Innovation was set up to ensure that researchers had the tools they needed to do first-rate and competitive research, to be internationally competitive. And this is an opportunity for the Canadian researchers not only to do their own research, but also to build partnerships and relationships with other countries around the world who are also interested in conducting research in the Arctic.
The newly retrofitted ship is the specialized research platform upon which Canadian-led international Arctic research projects will depend. The first of these projects is the Canadian Arctic Shelf Exchange Study, or CASES. The CASES program will be carried out by an NSERC research network made up of more than 70 collaborators from Canada and 9 other countries. Working together, they will look at all the major aspects of the Mackenzie Shelf ecosystem. The ship and its high-technology equipment will enhance Canada's international partnerships in this key area of research. This novel research and networking concept will also provide invaluable training opportunities for the next generation of Arctic researchers.
The concept is a critical one for science in Canada because it allows teams of researchers from universities across Canada to collaborate on a single platform in a very multidisciplinary way. So students from different disciplines will be working side by side on the same sampling platform, addressing problems which are inherently multidisciplinary.
When the new research icebreaker sets sail on the CASES study, it will begin a continuous, year-long mission that will overwinter on the Mackenzie Shelf. This will provide researchers with the capability to monitor water and ice conditions from the fall through winter and into the spring melt and ensuing fall freeze-up. It is a unique research opportunity which our international partners applaud.
Canada-Japan collaboration in the Arctic study has developed intensively and successfully. Today, the Japanese team is very proud of our contribution to the highly innovative Canadian research icebreaker project, and we look forward with excitement to collaborate again with you in the CASES program.
Japanese scientists have increasingly focused their research on the air-to-sea carbon cycle. Since the ocean is capable of acting as a sponge in soaking up carbon from the atmosphere, the reduction in sea ice cover may actually be beneficial. Only continued research will find the answer. Canada's presence in the North is not just about science. It's also about building understanding and trust with the peoples who live there. Canadian researchers actively try to engage Inuit communities through their community outreach efforts. They have brought people on board by the hundreds to show them samples of their research.
It's very, very good to eat.
In turn, the Inuit have welcomed the scientists into their communities to exchange traditional and scientific knowledge about changes in the Arctic. Searching for life in and under the ice, researchers like Jody Deming from the United States are cataloging microbes that live their whole life cycle at temperatures just a fraction above the freezing mark. Her research is part of a worldwide program aimed at gathering extremophiles, creatures that thrive in conditions of extreme cold or heat.
The high Arctic is one of the most extreme environments on our planet, yet the waters there are filled with a thriving variety of life. Aboard Canada's new research vessel next winter, we'll be exploring for microbes in sea ice, thriving against all odds. As an astrobiologist, I want to see what these forms of life can teach us about possible life on Jupiter's moon, Europa.
The newly equipped icebreaker is a first of its kind for Canada and something of a dream come true for one of its strongest proponents, project leader, Professor Louis Fortier.
The research icebreaker is the core around which Canadian researchers and their international partners will join forces to study the pressing ecological and socioeconomic questions facing the North. All Canadians should be very proud of this unique research infrastructure provided by the innovation strategy of this government.
Canada's first dedicated to science icebreaker follows in the wake of many other successful Coast Guard expeditions. As a fully equipped science ship, it promises to carve out its own new trail of exploration amid the waters and ice of Canada's last frontier.